With just hours to go before the government shutdown that seems all but inevitable, the question is on everybody's mind. Is this just basically what has happened before? Are we just basically playing this game yet again? While financial markets are basically all kind of in agreement that, yeah, this is a big nothing burger. We got most pundits out there and news people saying, this never really goes beyond 15, 20, 30 days. It just never has, never will. But we're seeing that this time appears to be different. Not only are Democrats digging in ways that we haven't seen them do before, Republicans, on the other hand, kind of want to see the government shut down anyway. The people that sent President Trump to Washington, D.C. want to watch it all burn, and the Democrats on the other side of things want to make things burn too. So it's, I think we're going to see something that we haven't seen before. You might want to buckle up and brace yourself for a tumultuous season here. We may not see the government reopen for quite some time, and sooner or later, I think the financial markets are going to be impacted pretty severely by this. But the question is how long will it take for it to realize that? And are the Democrats going to cave? Because it seems like the Republicans aren't planning on doing that anytime soon. All right, friends, we got a lot to talk about here. We're also going to talk about the economy rolling over. So this is not a good time for that as well. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And these are the things the mainstream media just won't talk about. Yeah, they'll say that it's all Trump's fault. They'll say that it's all the Republicans' fault out there. But I think that really when it comes down to it, both these parties are representing their constituents. And the MAGA Republicans are reflecting the anger, the upsetness, and the desire to really bring real reform to Washington, D.C. The Democrats are representing Democrats and blue people all over the country that are very, very upset. They are screaming and typing stuff on their keyboard, and they are instigating as much violence as they possibly can because they're upset. And this is what's coming. Now, there's reasonable people out there, but I think in these unreasonable times, people are reacting a little more unreasonably anyway. And is that an unreasonable thing for them to behave like? I don't know. But the middle ground seems to be basically disappearing. There really doesn't seem to be common ground between the parties anymore. One party wants to destroy America. The other party wants to reestablish America. And you'll notice that I didn't say which party was which because I think both sides feel like they're the side trying to reestablish America. And they believe that the other side is trying to destroy America. So in that type of scenario, I don't really see how compromise is ever going to be really viewed as something that either side wants. So any politician that tries to cross the aisle and make a deal and shake hands is probably going to get voted out in the next primary season. And I think both political parties are kind of seeing that. None of the MAGA Republicans are wanting to cross over and basically undo the president's bill in order to get this shutdown averted. And we're not seeing the Democrats are wanting to give away their only leverage. That's what they see in their opinion, their only leverage that they have in the face of Republicans controlling the presidency, the House, and the Senate. They believe that they need to hold on to this 60-vote majority, this filibuster, and use the filibuster in order to get some of their priorities passed, or else they don't know that they will be reelected by their constituents. All right, so the meeting yesterday was, as I had suggested it was going to be, very performative. Both sides coming to the White House and basically sitting inside the White House long enough that they could then go outside and have a press conference. They did not make any agreements. They both have already stated their positions. Republicans want a clean continuing resolution to keep the government open, and the Democrats want to undo the one big beautiful bill and rip out a whole bunch of those provisions and add $1.4 trillion in spending over the next 10 years in order to just get this continuing resolution. They're saying that that's what they want. They think that this is the only leverage that they have before upcoming elections, and so they need to get a win. And the only win that they can get is, or that they hope to get, is to undo what President Trump has already done. All right, so they're hoping to paralyze the government in the hopes that the population and the mainstream media will basically pin all the blame on the Republicans, and that there'll be much pain and suffering and gnashing of teeth, and everyone will blame it on President Trump for not negotiating with these Democrats. And so the game begins. There will be press conferences, there will be announcements, there will be, like I said, gnashing of teeth and talking about how awful this government shutdown is and how awful the people over there are and how this is all their fault and not our fault whatsoever. And really it's going to be a matter of who can more effectively pin the blame on the other side and force them to come back to the negotiation table. But it's hard to imagine a scenario in which the Democrats get forced back to the table. They have shown that they have a predisposition to watching cities burn, and they think that those extreme examples of violence are acceptable by and large inside the Democratic Party. And so it's hard to imagine them seeing pain and suffering and going, gee, we should stop this. Republicans on the other side, they don't want to be blamed for the shutdown of the government, but I think a lot of us probably are kind of happy to see the government shut down. All non-essential personnel laid off. I mean, there's that guy in Parks and Recreation, if you've ever seen that show, Ron, in Parks and Recreation. I can just visualize him right now going like, great. All non-essential government personnel, and Ron would say, that's basically all of them. But, you know, there's this glee from the Republican side that all the parts of government will be shut down. We kind of like the sound of that. Get them out of our lives. Let us go back to doing and taking care of ourselves and taking care of our things. And I think we also have a realization that all the actual parts of government that actually impact people are going to continue to function. The post office is going to continue to steal your mail. I mean, to deliver your mail. Though that first description is probably more accurate. The FBI is going to keep investigating the Democrats and all of their corruption. The Department of Justice and the judiciary is actually going to slow down. District courts, federal courts are going to slow down and then shut down operations. So court cases will stop. But the prisoners that are in prison are probably going to remain there. That's kind of the plan there. And so the U.S. military is going to continue operating. However, all these people that are continuing to operate because they are essential personnel, they aren't going to get paid. So there is that. Now, there is some talk about revaluing the gold in the U.S. reserves. That, of course, presumes that the United States actually has gold in its reserves, and it's not just been lying about it for quite a few years. Some have speculated that Fort Knox may be empty, and it might be. Or it might have bricks that are painted gold in there, for all we know. Has not been independently verified like basically every other country, and some people were asking the question of, why hasn't it been verified? Anyway, so there could be a massive gold revaluation, which would create out of thin air a whole bunch of government money, which could be used in the event of a shutdown to continue essential services. But there is going to be an increasing amount of friction and pain for people out there because that's going to be trouble. And also, how long can federal workers go without being paid before they start quitting? That's a real question out there as well. How many people working for TSA are going to start quitting? You can't hire new people while the government is shut down either. So all this really could come to more and more of a head, and the pain will increase as we go further in. All right, so how do I know that this doesn't seem to be like something that's going to be resolved soon? Well, after the meeting at the White House, President Trump posted a video of the House Minority Leader and the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, having their video on the front lawn of the White House. And President Trump superimposed a filter over Hakeem Jeffries, the Minority Leader of the House, with a Mexican sombrero on his head with a mustache. And while that was kind of funny, that's not exactly something that you would do to somebody that you are planning on having serious negotiations with. That was not President Trump keeping the door open for negotiations. That was a shot across the bow. That was a clear, I am going to defeat you, and you're going to come crawling to me, or you're going to defeat me, and there isn't really an option here. It's going to be a fight to the death politically between the President Trump MAGA Republicans versus the Hakeem Jeffries Democrats. There isn't a middle ground here. Now, the U.S. economy is also rolling over as we're seeing this right now. The illusion of the economy doing well is disappearing. People are feeling the pain more and more as they go to the grocery store. Not only that, but people are just kind of giving up. I mean, we see this in recent polls. Younger Americans particularly are giving up on an economy that they can own a home, actually have a retirement. Young people are just trying to keep their heads above water. And increasingly, people are running to private debt. They're running up payroll debt. They're running up credit card debt. And this is basically what you'd see from people who are giving up on the system. They don't believe the system can work for them, so they're trying to grab as much as they can before they leave the store. It's like a riot, where people start grabbing the TVs and running out the door. They're hoping that they never get arrested, but they're just trying to make do for today without any future thought for future consequences. And that's where the U.S. economy is really, too. We've talked about that previously, about how NVIDIA is behaving very much like what we saw at the top of the tech bubble back in 2000, 2001, where these companies were basically buying their customers, or loaning massive money or investing money into their customers so that those customers could purchase from them. You see this circular accounting, which is a very bad sign, and NVIDIA is just going all ham on that. And NVIDIA is a large portion of the S&P 500. It's basically where most of the gains for the stock market have come from, are basically just NVIDIA. NVIDIA and the companies that are in its little circle are going up massively in value this year, while a lot of companies, including most of the companies in the S&P 500, have actually been losing value. They're not doing well. And so when you see that okay, the index is going up, but really it's concentrated in just a few companies, and then you look closer at those companies and you're seeing that it's basically a accounting game or gimmick that is causing all of the U.S. economy gains. So we have that. We got the JOLTS report that just came out, and that was not good at all. The JOLTS report just came out just this morning, and we're seeing that job openings are lower. We're seeing that the rate of change for employment is lower. We got decreased construction and federal government jobs. Now, good news on the federal government jobs going down. Government job openings, the lowest we've seen since 2021. As these numbers are dropping, the labor market is just not seeing jobs posted, and we're not seeing people filling those jobs. We're not seeing people feeling safe. This is the quit rate. Basically, employees that feel safe and feel like they can go somewhere else for better opportunity will quit their job and go take another job. We're seeing that employees don't feel like they can quit anymore. And so they are afraid that that their job is as good as it gets and they can't find anything else out there, and that they don't want to enter the job hunting field because they feel like they're going to get caught without a job. Unemployment rate is going up. The real unemployment rate is going up. Not just the government manufactured numbers, but just people that don't have jobs. The employment participation rate across the United States is dropping. So with this government shutdown happening, there's a lot of pain out there, which is translating into political anger. Both sides think that they have all the solutions, and there really isn't much common ground between the Democrats and the Republicans at this point. And so both sides are going to fight it out, and I don't think we're going to see that change in the next week, maybe not even the next 2 or 3 weeks, until the polls really come out decisively blaming the Republicans or blaming the Democrats for this. We're going to see that both sides dig in and just keep throwing as much food as they possibly can at the opposition parties. All right, friends, that's my take on things. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Do you think that this is going to last a long time, this shutdown? Is this going to be a record shutdown, or is this going to be a short-term shutdown? There's going to be a little deal hammered out. What's that taco? Trump always chickens out, I think is taco. Just this idea that Trump always plays his hand very strong at the beginning, but he's really just looking for a reasonable negotiation. And the Democrats have framed this one so that they basically get free stuff and the Republicans get absolutely nothing. Is Trump going to move off his platform of not giving the Democrats anything? And he's going to actually give them something in order to get the shutdown to end. We'll see. But I don't think that Trump is in a very generous mood right now. And I think that Republicans also feel like that they shouldn't have to give away too much because they do control the presidency, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. All right, friends, let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.